The point of attention is here. So look at what happened. Point of attention here, boom, look where the knee is. So they make so the point of attention doesn't change that much, practically in the same spot, because otherwise if you change the point of attention too much, the audience is gonna be lost. But because they kept the point of attention on the same place, you can make that huge space in here and the audience is gonna feel it like it's really fluid and everything.
Hi everyone and welcome to Canimando.
Today I'm going to analyze Master. Hope you like it and join our Discord server to get free feedback in your animations. Okay, so let's go. First of all, I want to say that this style of animation is new to me. So it's a bit different than what we normally see in most animation films, but I'll do my best to analyze it. So hope you learn a few things today and let's go into it. Okay, so first of all, as always, I like to analyze every single detail, the small details that I think are important. So first of all, I like the walk here. See how the small detail of, see how the foot, the angle of the foot is more parallel to the screen. More, we see the side of the foot of the shoe, but then as the shoe comes closer to the camera, see how it gets more pointing towards camera. So they are creating that arc outside, creating that arc outwards and then pointing forward. So it's not just the foot are not just moving forward, but you have that rotation outwards and that movement outwards. So you have rotation and movement creating that visual arc, so it feels more natural. It's not the feet are not moving on straight lines, but they have that variation, that rotations. And when they step on the ground, see how they don't step on flat. They start with the heel in this case and then they roll over. So it's one and then that side of the foot is still not touching the ground, very slightly, and the tip and the toes as well are a bit raised, and then the foot completely flattens on the ground. So you see the variation. It's not just straight and flat on the ground from frame one, but you see that rolling is not perfectly aligned. You have that natural feeling to it. Same with this one, right? So this side of the heel, then this side, then the middle part, and then the toes, and then one final frame where we see the toes and the rest of the foot squashing. So we feel the pressure, we feel the weight being planted on this foot. So it's not just being planted pose and that's it, but we feel the weight of the character being leaning on that foot. So great details. This as well is small details, but really is important. See how the hand comes in here and see how the hand starts to rotate, pushing the thing upwards, but see how the fingertip still not moving at all. Then another frame even stronger where the finger is quite bent, the hand is already rotating a lot, putting pressure on this, and see how in this frame we can already see it moving a little bit. So we feel the pressure, of the hand, of the finger, and then over one frame, boom, it just flickers. So just note that these are two different frames, but in this animation style, you'll see it more along this analysis. But what they did in this animation is they don't animate every single frame. Sometimes they miss one frame, or they animate 3 frames, consecutive frames, and then they leave 1 or 2 frames where the character is still. So it's quite an interesting style of animation, because it reminds me of the film Spider-Man that came out not too long ago, like a year ago. I don't remember. But in that the last Spider-Man animation film that they animated on twos. So one frame there was a new pose, and the next frame was the same pose. So they only animated every 2 frames. In this case, it's not like that, because there is some variation to it, but it's kind of the same idea, right? So not animating every single frame, so you get that extra feeling of snappiness, because if you have bigger spacings, you get more snappy feeling, but you have to know what you're doing, because otherwise the animation is just gonna see pops everywhere. So yeah, let's continue. Okay, so first of all, in this one, even though it's a small shot, notice how much movement is in the body, is in the legs, everything. So everything is involved. It's not like she's sitting down and then we just worry about the hands or the feet. Everything is moving. Every movement of the character moves every single part of her body. So it's not so everything is connected. Everything reacts to every movement. So that's why it's also really important to record references. And also look at the foot. Look, when the foot plants, first of all, look at this beautiful arc. So it's not just taking off the foot and going down, but creating that arc outwards and then forwards. So if you track the heel, if you track the ankle, you can see the visual arc that it's creating. So that's one thing. And the other thing, notice how when the foot is planted on the floor, see how the fingers spread out? So we can feel the weight being planted on the foot as the fingers spread out. So same as with the hand, when you push the hand against something or you lean onto your hand, you'll see how the fingers tend to spread out a little bit. So same with the toes. So if you make the fingers or the toes spread out, it's gonna feel that this weight being put onto that foot, because you can feel the pressure. And also nice how throughout the animation, see how the fingers and the toe and the toes, the heel raises, the toes move. So everything, all these parts is really nice because it's really small details, and also this final readjustment. So it's really small details, but adds a lot of texture to the animation, because it's not like, okay, foot taking out of the shoe, planting on the floor, foot animation done. No, you keep analyzing your reference, you keep analyzing your animation to see if you can add some texture, if you can, for example, here, no, right? So it's not like the animators say, okay, foot planted, I don't have to do anything more with this foot. No, see how they involved this foot until the very end, so we can feel that it's still connected to the rest of the body. And finally, see how the foot readjusts. Really nice touch, how these fingers raise a little bit, creating this overlap. So at the end, see how when the foot finally settles, you can see the overlap on the toes. So I keep saying fingers to the toes, but that's okay. So so see how you can see the overlap. So even though it's a really small detail, that overlap on the toes at the end adds a lot, even though it may seem unimportant or not really important, but all those details add a lot to the animation. Because it adds a lot of texture, a lot of credibility, a lot of natural feeling to the animation. Okay, many things happening here. First of all, when she opens her eyes, notice how the cheeks and the skin of the nose is involved as well. It's not just because many times for new animators they tend to animate the eyebrows, the eyes, and the mouth, but the cheek and now nose controls they leave it as they don't animate them. So you see the middle part of the face completely frozen, and the eyes and eyebrows and the mouth moving, but the middle part of the face is completely frozen. So that's why important that you pay close attention to those controls so they match the movements of the face, because otherwise it's gonna feel very odd, very rigid when your character is speaking or looking or changing facial expressions. If the cheek controls, if the nose skin is not moving accordingly to your to the rest of the face. So really important, right? So see how the eyes open, you can see the cheek controls being pulled down so it matches the movements. Okay, but see how this, so one frame, stop. See how this frame is not movement at all? So it's a really nice style of animation, which I haven't done any animation like that, but it's interesting. Also, when with these kinds of animations, one of the most important things that you have to keep in mind is the path of action and the point of attention. Because if you're missing frames, for example here, see how the hand goes from here to here and then boom, moves up to here. You have to have a very nice created, see the elbow here, elbow here, elbow here. So the elbow is creating that visual arc, and the hand as well is creating that visual arc. So with these kind of animations, this style is really important, that you keep close attention to, you pay close attention to the path of action, that every part of the body is creating nice visual arcs, because otherwise, instead of having that big of a spacing, it's gonna feel like a pop. So if you don't want it to feel like a pop, if you want to have a big spacing, whether it is to make a huge movement, a huge impact, or because you are doing this style of animation where you don't animate every frame, you need to pay a lot of attention to the path of action to make sure that the audience can, the brain of the audience can imagine where the hand is gonna go, where before it goes there. Because here, if you track this movement, you can start to see how the elbow starts to go down, the hand starts to go down and rotate, so the next frame is coherent, that is here. So also the point of attention is here, and the hand ends up here. So it matches they don't take the point of attention too far away. They don't move the point of attention a lot from pose to pose when they have a big spacing, because otherwise the audience can't track the point of attention. So that's two very important things: the path of action and the point of attention. Same here, right? So boom, point of attention is here, and then super big spacing, and boom, the point of attention is here. So even though in this case the elbow is doing a super big spacing, but the point of attention is kept more or less on the same place, so it doesn't feel like a pop, because the point of attention is still around the same place. Here as well, really nice how boom, see how we can feel the anticipation. She's moving to the left, and then camera cut just before, see how the elbow starts to move to the left. So camera cut, and boom, we don't see anything, and then 1, 2, 3. On the third frame we can start to see the arm coming in, but they created the anticipation and the beginning of the movement from the previous camera cut, from the previous camera angle. So it's not like they started the movement on the next camera. So every time you want to have a camera cut in between an action scene, make sure that, or try at least to make the camera cuts in between actions, so you don't you can feel the end of one action. The beginning of one action is in one camera angle and the end of the action is in the next camera. So the camera cut is in between the action, so the audience connects two shots really easily. And then really nice settle. See that small overlap on the hand? Boom. See, boom. Reaches the pose and then boom, overlap on the hand. Not only moving but rotating. So it's a really subtle. See? It's really subtle but really important to sell the tension, to sell the impact, because otherwise it's gonna feel quite rigid if you don't create that vibration effect at the end. This one is beautifully done. So boom, see how, for example here, see the anticipation down and then starts to lead with the torso. Really nice. Look how they lead with the torso. The hand stays dragging back. The hand drags back. Straight line. Really nice, leading with the torso. And then boom. Really nice. So this is a huge spacing. So look what they did. They created that motion path kind of drawing. So we can feel what was the motion path of the hand, even though there's no frames to portray it. But because there are no frames in between, they created that lines to tell to the audience what was the motion path of the hand. So really nice, leading with the torso and boom, really nice. And then this is beautiful as well. Look, one punch, the next one. Again, look at the motion blur here. Boom, boom, really nice. And then look how the anticipation for the next one. See how it dips down. Look at the hips dipping down, but the point of attention is on these hands right now. And then boom. So again, this is a huge spacing. And as I said before, for this huge spacing to be felt fluidly, what happens? The point of attention is here. So look at what happened. Point of attention here, boom. Look where the knee is. So they make so the point of attention doesn't change that much. In this case, it's practically in the same spot. Because otherwise, if you change the point of attention too much, the audience is gonna be lost. But because they kept the point of attention on the same place, you can make that huge spacing here, and the audience is gonna feel it perfect. Like it's gonna feel like it's really fluid and everything, because the point of attention is being respected. So that's really important. And also see how we can feel the path of action of the leg. All these lines and this, we can feel the path of action of the leg. But most importantly in this case is the point of attention, that you lead the audience to the place that you want to go. So you lead the audience with the point of attention, so you can have huge spacing like this and the audience is not gonna feel like there is a pop at all. Okay, another thing here, great. So here jumps, I really like how they the variation on really nice straight line of action, then a squash pose, then a bit more of a straight line of action, then dips down and you have that that inertia going down, so stopping the inertia with the legs, but using that same inertia that is being stopped down to use it as an anticipation for the next one. So in this case, because of this animation style, you have one, you don't have, here you would have 1, 2, 3 frames where you have the body comes down, the in between, the middle pose starts to come up, and next pose, but they completely erased the in between pose here and here. Between these poses and these poses, there should be another pose with another animation style, but in this case they just created the extreme low pose and boom, the next, and so it feels a lot more snappier. But as you see, they kept the extreme poses, because are obviously the most important poses. So sometimes you can say that this feels like almost a very advanced blocking plus. Of course, there's a lot of more things, the motion blur and stuff, but we could say that this could be sometimes a very advanced blocking plus. Looking really nice straight line, and then boom. See the overlap on the legs, really beautiful, creating that visual arcs on the feet, really nicely done. Boom. And then also the timing, look at the timing. Boom. See how it is not just moving all the time at the same spacing, but you have that jump where the timing slows down a bit, then fastens up, and then slows down for a couple of frames, then fastens up, then slows down, and then fastens up. So you have that variation on the jumps, on the hang time, and then fast movements, hang time, and fast movement. So you have that contrast in the spacing. Also here, really nice. Look at these lines of action on the legs, really nice. Boom. Beautifully done. And also here, I wanted to show you, see, as in the Spider-Man movie, see how when they animated this, because they are not animating every single frame, see how they move the whole character. In the frames that the character is not moving any part of the body, they still move the whole body, because otherwise it's gonna feel very odd that the character just pops from one place to the next one with one frame empty in between. So to keep that same style where they don't animate every single frame but still make it fluidly, they just move the whole character as if the inertia of the hips, the inertia of the body is respected, but they keep the animation style on the body. So move the whole body, move the parts of the body, move the whole body, the parts of the body, move the whole body, the parts of the body, move the whole body, parts of the body. So really great, really nice line of action here. Also the hand, seeing it here, and the face, very important that we don't miss the face. So really nice how we see the face throughout the animation, and boom, really nice impact. Also, I wanted to show you, see how, analyze how when she falls down, how the whole body reacts to the impact. So boom, see how everything just shakes, the hand, the leg, the knees, everything shakes as a consequence of the impact. It's not like they are hitting this pose and leaving it as it is, but they make a reaction on the whole body because of the impact. See, the arm shakes, the leg shakes, the knee shakes, everything shakes. Also beautiful arcs here, I really like this. Also great hand pose, 2 fingers together, nice. Also here, notice how everything shakes here. it's not like, again, it's not hitting the post and that's it. You have that shaking because the movement stops very abruptly, so you have to dissipate the inertia, dissipate the energy throughout the body. So that small vibration on the hands, the head, the torso, you can see everything shake. See? Also beautifully done how they match the movements with the music. Look, analyze the music and the movements. See how tan 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 tan, they match the music with the rhythm of the movements, so it feels even better for the audience. Boom, boom. This is just a lot of reference to make this believable. Also, look at this again. Great anticipation, and see how they go from here in 2 frames to here. So to make it fluid, what they did, look, the point of attention is here, and then boom. But look, there's still a part of the hand with the huge dragging that they made in the fingers and the motion blur. They keep some part of the hand in the same point of attention. So you are forcing the audience towards the hand. So instead of, because otherwise if you pose the hand here, you probably lose the audience attention because you have moved the point of attention too fast. But having this frame where the audience have the tip of the finger still on the same point of attention, it helps the audience move their point of attention towards these movements. So really nicely done. Boom, and then boom. Great. So you have that huge movement on the arm where the point of attention stays on the same place, not where they keep some part of the hand on the same point of attention, and then the arm stays more or less on the same place, just moves with a small spacing, and then the hand has the big spacing. So instead of having the whole arm just move with the same spacing with the hand, first you have the big spacing with the arm and respecting somewhat the point of attention, dragging a lot the hand to keep the same point of attention, and then you have a huge change of a huge spacing on the hand and a smaller spacing on the arm. So you see how even with 3 poses you can create a lot of overlap on the movements. This is, I love it as well. The breathing here is great. Look how everything is overlapped as well, even though she keeps the same pose. Notice how the chest goes down, and then as the chest reaches the extreme down point, look how the hand and the arm keeps rotating down, and this hand as well keeps rotating down a slightly bit, the head as well, and the shoulders and the torso start to move up, but the hand and the arms still moving down and rotating down for a couple of frames. Then they catch up, the torso speeds up upwards, and then the hand as well, and then as the torso reaches its extreme high, then the hand and the arm catches up, and then as the torso is not moving up anymore, the hand and the arm keeps moving up and rotating up for a couple of more frames. So you can see the overlap between the arms and the torso and the head. Even though it's a very small and very subtle animation, the overlap is everywhere. So really nicely done there. See how also the rotation on the hand here, really nice. It's not just coming down straight, but you have that rotation, so down and up, really nice. Ooh. See that wave like feeling on the arms, on the torso, really nice. down and up and down. And also the shoulders are very much involved. See, every time she breathes, the shoulders move up and down and up. See how when the hand goes down, see how when the hand drops, the shoulder also drops down. Everything involved, everything connected. Really nice animation here. See, so she goes through three motions here. Also really nice touch here. See how the finger just kind of adapts to the frame. Really nice touch. So it's not just constrained to the frame, but is sliding through the frame, so it feels more believable, more organic. See, so first she has that expression like happiness, like remembering those times. She is like happy feeling here. Then she keeps looking. See how the mouth closes a little bit. Then she starts to change a little bit with the eyebrows pushing down. Then she blinks, and then boom, she blinks and the eyebrows change, and she goes to a more worried, more sad expression. See how the corners of the mouth also drop down, changing completely the mouth expression. Here you have more of a smiley shape on the mouth, and then as she changes expression, the mouth drops, the lips get a bit more apart together. Here is more pressed together, and then they drop down, the corners drop down, so you get more of a straight line in the mouth, creating that more of a sad feeling on the face, helped with the eyebrows and the eyes. So you have that expression now, like worried, remembering, like sad feeling. Then you have the eye darts that sell a lot her thought process. Those eye darts, see the eye darts, and also see the breathing. Do you see the breathing happening? See the shoulders. Really nice. See how when she changes expression, the shoulders drop. So the whole body changes the feeling. It's not just the eyebrows, it's not just the face, it's the whole body. And then finally, last expression, as she blinks, the eyebrows, we can start to feel the tension on the eyebrows, the frowning on the eyebrows, the mouth closing up, so more tension on the mouth, the lips, see how the lips push together, changing the expression on the mouth, and then completely change expression. Then this decisiveness, more angry feeling, more determined feeling, and then boom. Okay, that was the analysis for today. I hope you liked it. I hope you learned a few things today. And yeah, as always, if you have any suggestions, leave it on the comments. Subscribe for more videos like this. Also, if you're interested, I have an animation course, so check it out. If you want to if you want to learn animation a bit more in depth. And also I have a Patreon, so if you want one-on-one tutoring, or if you want me to analyze your animations to give you feedback, also you can get them there. And yeah, give it a like if you like the video, subscribe as I said, and until the next animation analysis. Subscribe.